So what's up, people? Welcome to the What's Been Going On of this week from the 28th of July until the 3rd of August. And, this week was very good. So I went to Paris, I went to the beach, I did a lot of stuff. So it started off on Monday, like every other week. And on Monday, something as well very interesting happened. I was walking from my house. I needed to go to the city center, get some documents because on Tuesday I had to go to Paris, but it was not because I wanted to. It was not like just to take photos. I actually needed to do have a couple of reunions, send some documents, all of this. But so I was going to the city center, and then whom do I see? Like literally 200 meters away from where I live. I see like two Spanish people, and these people, like, they were doing an Erasmus in my first year of university. And we shared some classes. In my first ever semester at university, when I was at 18, like in 2022. And I saw them and I was like, I almost recognized them. And then they looked at me and I was like, hey, hey. And then, they haven't been here since their semester ended, and they came like with all of the other Spanish people, so there were like 5 or 6, and they came to Montpellier just to visit, for the memories, I imagine, which was a good thing. Like a group of all the Spanish that came here in an exchange semester, they come back 3 years later, and I just see them like randomly. They remembered me because my first year of university, I was quite I was a bit of a character. I was a bit, I was probably speaking way more than what I should have, and I was trying to I was trying to try to do everything I could. So I had a couple of classes with them. I had even did a couple of projects with them, and then they looked and were like, what, blah blah. And then we ended up having a coffee. We went to the city center, had a coffee. I got the documents like on the time. I literally looked at my phone like when the place that I need to go closed. And I went there like 10 minutes before they closed. But that brought so many memories to my head back. But I had to go back home because I had to take a train on Tuesday at 5:50 a.m. So I went back home not that late. I got what I needed. Then I tried to sleep early. I really couldn't because I'm in vacation, so my sleep schedule is screwed up. And I had to wake up like 4. I need to be at the train station like 5:30ish. So I had to wake up at 4, eat breakfast, shower, all of this. I was out of my place at like 5 something. Got to the train station like 5:40, 5:30, like as well, not that much in advance. Then the train was from 5:50 to 9:30. So at 9:30 I got to Paris. But I had a problem as well. I didn't really eat much that morning. Well, I ate, but like 4 something a.m. So I was not, you're not really that hungry that early in the morning. So then I felt like actually hungry like at 9, which is where I'm usually eating breakfast now that I'm in vacation. And I go to the freaking supermarket in the train station of Paris. A yogurt was €5. That traumatized me. A yogurt is €5 with no flavors. Like, it was scented. It didn't even have like fruits. Like, it was a bad yogurt. €5. I was like, damn. Like, I know the train stations and airports and this sort of places, they pump up their prices, but that was too much. So I like, they had water at €9. So that was insane. But I got there at 9:30. I was that hungry that I had to buy something, so I ended up buying that freaking yogurt, which probably was a mistake. I have to say, not I could have waited for but as well, I was going to a couple of reunions back to back, so the next time I was free was going to be like at 1-2 p.m. So I didn't want to be that hungry during that. So I ate the yogurt, then I took the metro, and I went to the first place where I had the reunion. That was at 10:30. So I got there at like 10:15. You know, it's good that I was early. And then I did all of my things there. Then I had the other reunion. So I got out of there like 11 something, 11:15, 11:10. And then the other reunion, it didn't really have a time to start, it had a time to finish. But this one was an important one because I was meeting with a person that could help me find an internship there next summer. So I had to play it well, and he just told me that at one he had to leave. So at one something, so I had to be there as soon as I could. So I got there at like 11:45. I got to meet him. I have not met this man in my life, this mysterious important man, and he was incredible. He was so chill. Like, us people, we used to think that as somebody gains and gains, like even more and more power or economical stability or whatever it is, like as they start to go up the ladder, you think, well, they're probably more egotistical, they're probably more evil, it's the other way around. They're the most chill. Like, as higher up you go, the chiller they get. So this was an important person. He had a good rank, and I got to meet him, and we got to speak for a bit, and it was great. Like, I had a great time with this guy, and yeah, hopefully I'm with him next summer. That would be amazing. So I had a reunion with that guy, and then I had to eat lunch. I ate lunch. I don't know. Just a restaurant close by, which was it was not that expensive. It was expensive, but I thought I would pay like double because it was Paris. Turns out you can still find a decent restaurant in Paris for not 100 euros or something. So I had a nice lunch, and then I had the rest of the day to myself. At 7 I had the train back, so I had from like 2 to 7 to just walk around. Then I filmed a vlog. Had a great time, because I had been just one time before in my life to Paris, and it was not in the day. It was not no daylight. It was at night because I had a layover in Paris of like 11 hours. So I used like, I don't remember, like 7-8 hours. I went to Paris all throughout the night. It was like from 9 p.m. to 3-4 a.m. Yeah, that was crazy. But that was 2023, so that was 2 years ago. So in all of this time I've been living in France, I have never been to Paris. So I went to Paris that one time. Well, that one time in the night. So this was the first time I got to actually see Paris with daylight, and that was very cool. I went to like the most famous spots. Then I hopped in the train. My legs were burning right away. I walked so freaking much, like 30,000 kilometers. No, like 30,000 steps. That was a lot. That was a lot of steps. And yeah, I got back home. And then Wednesday I chilled because, Tuesday I had this trip, started at 4 a.m., got back home at like very late as well, like around 11 p.m. I was very tired, so Wednesday was a chill day. And then Thursday I meet up with my buddy. This guy, he's a unique man. It's a great man. And he's going to Paris next semester for his master's. We talked like maybe I could go as well, but I'm staying here. But I got to see him. We went to a Japanese sushi restaurant. Very good. And it was a buffet, so you can just eat as much as you want. At the end, like starting off, we said, how many plates are we eating? I said 20, and that was like moderate. He said 50. And this restaurant works that you can only have 5 at a time. So you have one first round, then second round, and then like until you get full. He said 50 at the beginning. By the end of the first round, so 5 plates, he was like, oh man, I don't know, I'm a bit full right now. I was like, dude, you said you were gonna eat 50. He ended up eating less than me. And then at the end, they give me a lot of food. I was like, oh no, man, this is a problem. And we bet, like, okay, if you eat all of this, I'll pay coffee. If not, he'll pay coffee. So like we went to a coffee shop, well, like to a cafe afterwards, and I ate, like, I had like 4 plates. I had like 4 pieces of meat. I had the sashimis. I had everything. I had chicken. It was a lot of food, right? And I was like, deal, like easy, like I'm gonna eat all of this. And then I ate all of that minus one of the sashimis. I couldn't, like, that was the limit. Like, if I would have gone like David Goggins and actually get that one and eat it, I would have probably vomited. So that was my, but I don't know. But then, like, we got to the conclusion, like, okay, you ate 99% of what you said you were gonna eat. So like each one of us pays the coffee, and then well, like we said, okay, you know what? Let's meet up, and then we met up on Friday. The same dude. I went to sushi place before, as well. I haven't seen this guy since December of last year, so we're in, but that, yeah, it was the 31st. No, yeah. So like I saw him in August. So, like, I haven't seen him since December. I see him in August of the next year. But, you know, friendship is still intact. That's what matters. And I saw him, I went to the beach. And it was great. We were having fun time. But it was like a family beach and, you know, many kids. And then we just, like, you know, let's get out of here. Let's walk somewhere. And then we walked. And he lives in a place called Agd. And there's a very famous place called Cap d'Agde. And in Cap d'Agde, there is a very famous place, which is an insane place. So we were just walking in a beach called Marseille, like a normal beach. There's families, there's like villas, there's camping, you know, there's kids playing the beach. And we were just walking, right? And, you know, talking BS, whatever. Then we see a poster. We don't pay too much attention to it. But there's 2 posters, like one poster here, one poster here. In this space there's nobody. In here there's a lot of people. In here there's a lot of people. So we're walking like from here to here, pim pam boom. And then as we were walking, then we were like, dude, that's a naked guy. What the heck is this? And then it turns out that on the other side of the poster, it was a nude beach. Very famous nude beach. He has never been there. I think he heard about it. I don't know. I was like very stunned. Like, dude, that's a nude beach. And then, like, me and him, we're dressed. You know, we were just walking the beach. For some reason, we continue walking a bit more. Everybody's looking at us. So we're like, and then we of course turn around and go back. But, and you know, that was like a very funny scenario. We were like a place with lots of nude people around, and most of them were like more than 50 years old. So, you know, nobody of our age, nobody. And then we just go back and like, what the heck did we use? What is this? And you know, what surprised me the most is that it was so freaking close to the families and the family vacation hotels and villas and camping spots. And right there was a nudist beach. So like right next to each other. So I was like, wow, that's, you know, like, I think, you know, I approve of these nudist beaches. Like, I'm a believer in freedom. You know, you can do whatever you want, and, you know, if there's people that are, you know, into being nude at the beach, they can do that, but that shouldn't be that close to the kids. You know, like, it should be a bit more far away. But yeah, it was very funny. And then, you know, and as soon as we saw the first, like, I couldn't stop laughing. You know, I had sunglasses, so like, you know, I was smiling, and he was like, he looked at me, and we were both laughing, and like, you know, it was a funny memory, I would say. And that was Friday. Yeah, and then Saturday, it was a chill day, you know. I'm going to the center. I don't even know why I could. Yeah, I was going to buy some groceries that I couldn't buy at the big grocery shop. It was like a little shop in the center. So I go there, and whom do I see? I see a dude as well that I haven't seen in like a year. And turns out I saw him because he was in my school and we had some classes together, but I didn't really know this guy. But in the second year, we both had an internship and it was very close to each other. So in the lunch break, I was just walking, then I see him like, hey, hello. And then I see this good dude. And we're both doing the internship very close by, you know. So this is in 2024, last year. And, or 2023. No, 2024, yeah. This was 2024. So, like, I get to know this guy. I'm like, hey, I've seen you before in class. And he's like, hey, yeah, I recognize you. And we never said hello. We didn't even know our names. We got to meet each other. We met a couple of times for lunch of last year. Then I've seen him in school a time or two, but I didn't really see him anymore. And then I was just walking the city center to go to a grocery shop. And whom do I see? I see this dude that I haven't seen in like a year. And then we end up, like, we just had a cafe at like 11 a.m., which makes no sense. Like, why is he in a coffee shop at 11 a.m.? He was not having breakfast. He had already had breakfast. Like, coffee shops are for either breakfast or the afternoon. Not a, like, you know, but we just sat down and we spoke for like 2 or 3 hours. I got to know him a bit better because I didn't really know him that well, but I had a great time talking with that dude. He's staying as well here for the masters. Me too. We're doing different masters, but it was nice. Like, it was great having a talk with that guy. And then I got back, and then I went to the big supermarket, which as well was not that good because I was by myself and it was super freaking hot. It was like 32, 33 Celsius. I was like flaming hot. Then I got back here with all the groceries, cleaned a bit the place, and then Sunday I was just chill because Nell is coming next Tuesday. So I need to, Sunday I used it to clean the place, calm everything down, and yeah, that was the week. That was a nice week. I feel it was nice because I did something productive. Like, the Tuesday, like having 2 reunions, I haven't had any sort of reunions in probably the whole year. So it felt like, like it gives you something to look forward to. So I have, that's what actually made this week very nice. But of course, I went to the beach and I went to Paris and I had the sushi buffet all in 1 week. That's very good. And I saw 2 friends, well, 3 that I haven't seen in more than a year or more. So that's very cool too. Yeah, this was this week, and yeah, we'll see how next week goes. Bye.